Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. How are we doing today? This is another great Tuesday morning. I'm so excited to be here once again, to be here talking to you guys. How are you all doing? I hope you had a great week. The weather is out. It's the time went forward. I was going to say backwards, but it went forward on Sunday. So were you one of those ones that lost out in that extra hour? Because I was like, I could have done with an extra hour, but it wasn't the case. But never mind, we're here today, and happy belated Mother's Day to all the mothers out there. Happy belated Mother's Day. I remember in church on Sunday, one of the pastors was saying that it's your day, so celebrate it. So I'm taking it one step further and saying it's your week, celebrate it. So happy belated Mother's Day to all the mothers out there. Keep enjoying and keep putting your head up. Welcome to another episode of Barefoot Conversations with moi, Magdalene. How are you? Yes, it's me, Magdalene. How are we doing? I have been on here now, I think going on a month plus, and it's been great. It's been phenomenal. It's been wonderful with all your lovely comments. I am touched. I am deeply, deeply touched. So thank you so much for all those who are leaving me wonderful comments. It's such a great thing to know that people are listening and they're actually taking on board what I'm saying. I'm not an expert. I keep saying it on the various topics I've spoken about. That's not necessarily my area of specialty, but it's been something that has been, and I decided I needed to talk about them. So like last week now, we talked about mental health because it's something that's very topical in line of one of my businesses as well. You see that so many young people, unfortunately, have been classed in that bracket as well with mental health. So we need to talk about it. We can't shy those things away. We can't shoo them away and say, let's sweep them under the table. No, we have to talk about these things because it's important, it's very vital. So we can't just keep quiet. The other time I talked about Brexit and how it impacts the female entrepreneur, and I kept mixing up Article 51, Article 52. No, it's Article 50. So you guys are so kind. You should have just told me Magdalene's Article 50. So it's Article 50 that's going to be triggered off tomorrow by President Theresa May. So have you been thinking about what I said? How do you think that's going to impact you, especially if you're in business? I said, it doesn't matter even if you're in business. What about the organization that you work for? Is it an international organization? Does it do business on international waters in the sense of within Europe? So those are things that we have to also think of as well. Today's show, it's another wonderful show, and it just so happened that it ties in with Mother's Day as well. And you know, ironically, I've been doing a challenge on my Facebook group this week. So this is day 2, and I made reference to it, and I said, when I got this topic for today's show, I did not know that I was going to be doing this challenge on my Facebook group this week. And so it just tied in. And so the topic of today's show says, are you a woman of worth or are you a woman of cost? So these are for the women and men out there. So I want us to really listen. Are you a woman of worth? Are you a woman of cost? What does it mean to be a woman of worth? And what does it mean to be a woman of cost? So let me just go straight into it. Are you a woman of worth? What are your values? What do you believe in? What do you believe in? Where do you carry your sense of integrity from? Is it by making sure your makeup is all point, you've done all your contours, you've done this, you've done that, you spent hours, you've woken up 3 hours early just to get your makeup done, which will probably take you 2 hours and the other hour to get dressed before you step out the house? Is that what makes you a woman of worth? Have you gone to do your hair? You've gotten the Brazilian, you've done all these things, you've done your nails, you've done this, you've done that. Your clothes are all designer. Does that make you a woman of worth? When I'm talking about being a woman of worth, I'm talking about internally. I'm talking about your belief system. I'm talking about things that sets you apart, where your beauty comes from. Because we're not talking about external beauty, because all those things will fade away. I'm talking about internal beauty. Can people come around you and take something of value from you? When I talk about value, they take some words of wisdom, some nuggets that are powerful, that they can take away with them and they can implement in their own lives, that would transform their own life. Can people do that? Can your children do that? Or are you teaching your children that, you know what, it's better to be very superficial, it's better for you to be all covered up, it's better for you to do this, it's better for you to do that, it's better for you to go out there with the short, skimpy, tight dresses so that you can entice the men and get the men to, you go out and get the men to buy you all the drinks and buy you everything that you require. Is that what makes you a woman of worth? Does that, for me, automatically what comes to mind is that you're a glorified prostitute, because I don't see the difference between a prostitute that hangs on the street and a prostitute that lives in the house and come out with short, skimpy dresses, and the whole agenda is to go out so that all eyes will be on them, so that way they don't have to spend any money from their pockets. Or could we call it an escort as well? That's another name as well. I don't even know. But are you a woman of what? Where do you get your values from? When you put it in a biblical manner, it says we are fearfully and wonderfully made. So you look at yourself in the mirror and you say, you know what? You're wonderful. You're beautiful. There's nothing wrong with you. Everything is great. Everything is great about you. When you begin to believe that within yourself, it shows. It's just like light. When you put on light under the table in a dark place, regardless of how dark that place is, once you've lit a small candle, even a very small candle, it shows, it illuminates, because it's light. That's what we're meant to be as women. We're meant to be that light in our homes. We're meant to be that light wherever we go to. I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with wanting to look good, but if that becomes the main preoccupation, then we've lost it altogether. Because we feel the need that, oh, I can't be myself. I have to do this. I have to ensure that I spend all my paycheck on making myself look really good, so that way when I go out, all the men will be looking at me and everything, and oh, I will go out there and they can buy me this and buy me that. No, we need to stop that, because if we as women are doing that, what hope do we have for our younger ones, the younger girls coming up? What are the media portraying to the younger ones? When you have all this, I don't want to mention any of them. All these shows are on TV. I really don't want to, one's about to spill out my mouth, but I don't want to mention any of the names. And you see them portraying the fact that all they do is just lounge about, look good, put extensions in their hair, whatever, and look good, and then they get money. And then the young ones are looking at that thinking, that's the life I want to live. I want to just go about, align myself with a rich footballer and just have babies and just go around with the Versace bags and the Chanel bags and the Gucci bags and the Louis Vuitton bags, and just, just go out there and just look polished. So every time you see them, they're always polished, but deep down inside, there's so much turmoil within them. Is that what we're trying to portray? How are we women of worth, and how exactly are we transforming the lives of people around us if we carry on like that? If we can't find anything great about ourselves. So the only way we can get consolations for ourselves is by taking all these accessories to make us feel good, but deep down inside, we're still empty. I just really want us to think about this, because as we move on in life, especially if you're one of those people that work with young people and hear their language, it's scary. It's very scary because of the fact that they feel that they need to impress a guy at every time. And I want to put this to the guys now. Guys, I want to really hear from you guys. Is this something that is of interest to you? When a woman is all, before we talk about anything else, let's just look at the makeup only. When a woman is all covered up, literally covered up with foundation and all manner of things, when it's too much, you can't even see her face anymore. It's all about the makeup. So is this what the men are looking for? And when she does that, I'm not saying makeup is wrong. I'm not flogging the makeup. That's not, I've got some eye, you can see I've got some on my face this morning, but I'm not flogging that. And what I'm saying is that when that is a preoccupation, and everything to do with the external is a preoccupation, is that what the guys are looking for? When the women are out there as hungry wolves, like, oh God, I need to get this man, I need to get this man. So the main preoccupation is just making sure they look on point to get the guy. Guys, I want to hear from you. Is that what you guys are looking for? Is that what you guys are really looking for? It's good for a woman to look good and to take care of herself. Don't get me wrong. But is that what the guys are really looking for? When she takes it to another level, that she looks herself in the mirror and this woman is as tiny as anything, and she says to herself, oh, I'm too fat, and then she needs to trim this, she needs to die in the gym, she needs to do this, go extra mile to do all the plastic surgery so that this is standing, that is sitting, this is there, this is that, this is sticking out, everything. Is that what the guys are really looking for? For me, when I think about a woman of worth, one thing that comes to mind is a woman that knows her sense of integrity, where she has sense of values, where it comes from. For me as an individual, my sense of value, my sense of belief as a Christian, because I know that he has told me that I am fearfully and wonderfully made. So I then don't need to go out to seek approval from a man or a woman in order for me to do what I need to do. If I feel good, it may not be appealing to anybody else, but if I feel good within myself, then that's all that matters. That's all that matters. If I feel good within myself, that's all that matters. And that's a message I really want to pass across to each and every one of us today. How can we carry a message that will affect and impact our community, our society, in an effective manner when we are saying one thing and we're doing another thing? We're saying one thing and we're doing another thing. We say to the young people, do what I say, but don't do what I do. So come, I don't know, Thursday night, from Thursday night right up to Sunday night, that's it. I'm going out. I need to let my hair down. I need to go clubbing. I need to do this. I need to do that. And then you're coming out literally falling over. And I mean falling over. You might as well not have won anything, because the top half is falling over, the bottom half is falling over. Everything is just on show, on display. And you feel the need to do it. Just look at the music videos. I had to sit down one day and really examine the various music videos. And I said to myself, I said, if you watch the music videos, the men are covered up. They may have a vest on and shorts or something, but they are covered up. But the women are literally naked. And I said to myself, why is that? It's intentional, because that's what sells. Sex sells, so it's intentional. So I'm not trying to be naive in that. But I'm also asking that question because I'm like, these are women, these are mothers that bring forth the world, that give birth to the world. There's no person under the surface of this world today that did not come from a woman. So these are women, whether they're mothers now or mothers of tomorrow, prancing up and down and just showing us that, oh, look at my body, look at my top half, look at my bottom half. This is how good I am. Is that all? So you base your sense of self-worth on how you look externally. That for me is very pitiful. You base your sense of self-worth on how you look externally. It's a very pitiful thing. But then let's look at the other extreme. When we talk about women being women of worth, because we have to, I want to be fair, so I want to cover both sides. When I talk about women being women of worth, I know in some denominations within the Christian faith, there's some women who are covered up from head to toe. You can't wear earrings, you can't wear makeup, your head must be covered up, you can't wear trousers, you must wear long dresses. And again, to each to his own. But for me now, I'm saying to myself, does that make you a woman of worth? Because this would be a young person. Makeup does not make you beautiful. It just, I keep saying, it accentuates your inner beauty already. So I'm not saying that you must wear makeup. Never am I saying that you must wear the big fancy jewelry or anything like that. What I'm saying is that when you're covered up and you're a young person and someone sees you and thinks you're someone in your 60s or 70s, and especially if you're a single lady, I don't know. It's just, this is just Magdalene's musing. So I may be right, I may be wrong, I don't know. But I'm just, these things are just going through my head and I'm thinking, I don't know, because I see it all the time. So I remember I saw a friend of mine who falls into that category. And I looked at her and I was like, okay, this is a young lady. I'm thinking, okay, if I was a man, I'm not saying that you should be going all out there, but I may have to really think twice, because obviously it's not about the looks, but when you first meet a person, is the looks that will attract you to that person before you begin to talk to the person and begin to know that person and you fall in love with that person even deeper. But the first instance is the looks. I think to myself, at my first instance, I don't know. So I'm looking at both sides. Are you a woman of worth or are you a woman of cost? For me, a woman of cost is something that is internal. Is an inner relationship that woman has with God, because she gets her values, she gets her belief system from there. It's her relationship that she has with God that flows through in everything she does. So that the woman of worth will not go and backstab another woman. A woman of worth, regardless of how things are going on around her, she'll still put her head up, and you ask her, how are you? And she'll be like, it's okay, things are going to be okay. She's not lying. She just smiles and saying things are going to be okay. A woman of worth for me is a woman that does not go out and begins to tear her family down, either immediate or extended, or, tear her family down because she's angry. It's not a woman that is out there wherever setting she is, and she's always the one that is a troublemaker, always fighting. The loudest one, always causing problems. A woman of worth is one that wants to leave an inspiring legacy for her children and for the wider society and generations to come. She wants them to know what it means to be hardworking. I remember last year when Eric Thomas came to London. He said something I will never forget. He said so many things, but this thing that just popped into my head right now. He asked his wife, he said to the wife, why are you still working when you don't have to work? We have enough, so you don't have to work. The wife said to him, I want to work so that I can show to my daughter the importance of earning your own. That for me was a very powerful statement. It's a powerful statement because that's a woman of work. She does not have to work, so she can easily be a woman of leisure and just chill out and just go online and buy everything Louis Vuitton, everything Gucci, everything Chanel. She can do all that. But she wants to show to her daughter, it may not be much compared to what the husband's bringing in, but she wants to show to her daughter that, you know what, we have all of this, but I still have my own. That for me is a woman of worth. So everything I do is intentional, whether it's bringing in money or it's not bringing in money, because everything is for a season. And one thing that's constant in life is change, and that's what we must understand. So if money is a major intentions we have to do anything, then we might as well not do anything at all. So everything is for a season. And so everything I do, I don't just do it because of the fact that I don't have anything better to do. It's because of the fact that I want to leave a lasting legacy, that when I am gone many, 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 many years from now, it will be said that Magdalene came and she touched life and she transformed life. That's why I am called a transformation expert, transforming the lives of women and men, those who are struggling to find their purpose. I am living in my purpose. It took me a while to understand that, but I am now living in my purpose. And my purpose on this earth, is to transform the lives of other people. And it spills out through the words, the lyrics of my songs, through my other organization, Music Relief, in working with the young people, and even when I work with the women as well, because I go beyond the call of duty, because I look at people that I work with and I'm like, I can see myself in you. And I've been able to be transformed with the help of God and obviously the mentors around me. I want to be able to do that for you. So not to blow my trumpet, I class myself as a woman of worth, because I truly believe that a woman of worth will always put herself secondary, will go out of the way to impact lives because she knows. She knows what she has within her. Need to feel insecure by anybody. She does not need to feel threatened by anybody because she understands that there is a season for everything in life. But these things doesn't happen overnight. You have to come to a place of maturity. You must come to a place of understanding and know that as a woman of worth, things will not always be easy, but you put your head up and you say to yourself, so long I have life, there is hope for me. And that is what a woman of worth is. A woman of worth will say, you know what, let's just go out, but I don't have any money. Let's just go out. You can go for a walk. You don't have to pay to go for a walk. Let's go for a walk. Let's sit down and just watch a movie together. That's a woman of worth. But a woman of cost is more about the external. She's very superficial. She wants to be seen. She wants to be heard. She wants everybody to know that, yes, I'm around. But deep down inside, she's so empty and longing for something more than she's giving. But sometimes because of pride, because of status, she can't open her mouth to tell you that, oh, you know what? I'm dying inside. Worth doesn't have to come with age, but age most of the time brings about wisdom. I said most of the time, not all the time. When you carry yourself in a place, in a manner that you command respect even without saying it. You command respect even without saying. That's a powerful statement in its own. You command respect even without saying it. Then you know within yourself that you've come a long way. You carry yourself in a manner that people look at you and say, there's something about you that I want to be identified with. People look at you and say, there's something about you. There is just something about you. I get that all the time. There is something about you. What is it about me? I'm just being me. I'm just being real. So what is it about when people say to me, or especially men, there's something about you? Well, then some may have ulterior motives. I don't know. But I'm just like, what is it about me that you don't seem to understand? Because I'm a woman of worth. I can't tear down another woman. Experience is a very big thing. Experience is a big thing. When you've gone through certain things in life, to learn from those things, you move on. You bring about change. You don't wait for somebody else to tell you need to change. You as an individual know that you need to change your ways and transform your life. And that's what I'm talking about. A woman of worth takes herself in a manner that she commands respect. She carries her head up without being told. I'm going to end with this. I'll begin to end now because I'm looking at my time. I remember watching a documentary of Dr. Maya Angelou. May her soul rest in peace. And in one clip, she said she was giving a talk at a university. And a young black lady said to her, she was asking her a question. I can't remember the question the lady was asking her. But the point I'm bringing across is this young black lady said to Dr. Maya Angelou, she called her by name. She said, "Oh, Maya." Then she asked her question. And I love the way Dr. Maya Angelou responded while I was watching the documentary. She said she sat up and she looked at the lady with her deep voice. And she said, "Excuse me. As you see me sitting here, I sit on the same shoulders as your mother, as your grandmother, and your ancestors. My hair being gray is of experience and of wisdom. And because of that, you as a young lady do not have a right to call me Maya." That for me was phenomenal. That I didn't care about the other documentary. That was just beautiful because she did not put the girl down in a bad way, but she told her. So that girl now, I'm just assuming, but if I was that girl, I would never said Maya in the first place. But if I was that girl, I would be able to understand what she's saying. She said, you know what, we are both sisters in the same race. We must acknowledge our mothers and give them the due respect. And this is not just for one particular race, it's for everybody. And that's why a woman of worth is so important. That we're able to educate our children, able to educate our generations to come. And by so doing, they also impact and educate their friends and everybody around them. That you give the utmost respect to your elders. They may be right, they may be wrong, but the fact that they are the elders, you give them respect. And that's, for me, is a woman of worth. I'm going to end with that today because my time is quickly coming to an end. Please do join me every Tuesday morning, 11 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. Barefoot Conversations with Magdalene is right there behind me. Barefoot Conversations with Magdalene. Different topics. Next week, I was going to say tomorrow. Next week, I'm going to be talking about how have we become as our parents, or have we become as our parents? That's the topic for next week. Have we become as our parents, or are we becoming a nation of parents, or our parents? But yeah, I'll phrase it well for us by next week. That's the topic for next week. But before I go, speaking of women, my event, Shine Through Your Art, is this Saturday. Ladies, it's coming up this Saturday. Have you registered? Don't wait till the last minute. I know sometimes we like that lastminute.com. Don't wait till the last minute. Book and register now. Shine Through Your Art. It's a public speaking event for women, and men have indicated they want to be there, so please do come along as well. Who want to learn how to really stand out and shine through their talents to be able to deliver effectively on stage your presentations. So you don't mess up. You may prepare a great piece of work, but when you come to deliver, you're mumbling because you're scared. This event is for you. Don't delay. Register now. It's time for you to take your place as a woman of worth. It's time for you to take your place as a woman of greatness. It's time for you to take your place as a woman of honor and begin to impact your life, your family, and your generations to come. Until next time, this is Magdalene Adenike, your transformation expert, where I work with women who are struggling to find their purpose in order for them to identify, connect, and reconnect in order for them to live a fulfilled life. Barefoot Conversations is back with you next week, Tuesday at 11 a.m. Have a great day. Bye for now.